As we feared, here it comes, Hurricane Dennis bearing down on the western Florida Panhandle. And in the path, you're all going to feel that effect. Gulf Shores, Alabama is one of those places.
And so is Gulf Breeze, Florida here, Bill, which is where we are off to the east of Gulf Shores. No doubt conditions are going to deteriorate rapidly. We'll explain what we're going to feel here in just a few hours. Stick around.
Welcome back. Thanks again for staying with us. It looks like one for the record books here, Stephanie. This could be the strongest landfalling hurricane in this part of the country on record.
That's right. And we don't want to make it landfall anywhere, but it looks like it's going to affect the same places that Ivan did. Still recovering from Ivan. We are sitting at a Category 4 hurricane, 140-mile-an-hour sustained winds. And a sustained wind is the average wind speed observed over a period of 1 minute.
Yeah, all that work probably gone for naught here. I know they've been dredging the Destin Pass for the better part of a year now. Catastrophic damage from Ivan, and is still feeling the wrath of that. And now as we check out SkyTracker, look at that eye wall. That is ugly. We're talking winds of 140 miles per hour sustained sitting on that eye wall.
And there's a look at the winds and the wind direction. Of course, that shows you where the winds are coming from. So, for instance, in Mobile, they're coming from the northeast. That's where the wind direction is coming from. And, of course, those will all start shifting around as this nears the coast. And, of course, that's only going to be in another 2 to 3 hours.
And as Mike Bettis said earlier, Panama City, Apalachicola, that wind will turn more clockwise. That'll tell us with a southerly wind, the actual track of Hurricane Dennis will go just to your west.
All right, speaking of Mike Bettis, we have him. He is located in Destin, Florida. But first, we want to start with Jim Cantore. He is located in Gulf Breeze, which is just adjacent to Pensacola. And Jim, you know, you can prepare as much as you can for these things, right? But are you ever really prepared for what is coming your way? The rain stinging your face, the debris, the destruction. How can you ever really prepare for that?
Well, Steph, you know, a lot of times you can only imagine it here, but I guess the best description we can give you on what we're going to deal with here is a condition like what we saw in Charlie, where this is such a small core, if you will, of those 100-plus mile-an-hour winds that we are going to see that come up here in a big-time hurry. In other words, what we're getting now, this kind of weather, 40, 50, 60 miles an hour, literally within an hour, we could see those conditions deteriorate extremely fast, where we go from 60 to 80 to 100, possibly even up toward 120 miles an hour. And obviously, we will do our best, obviously, to get out of harm's way, first of all, and bring you that broadcast and show you how that happens. But, you know, Stephanie and Bill, you just gave me an idea, too. Maybe what you can do with SkyTracker is take that line that we use for a squall line and advance it to the northwest at about 35 miles an hour, and we can see how quickly that outer core, that first band, is going to come on in, we think, with the hurricane force winds. So that may give us kind of a timeline there as to when that gets in here. By just looking at the radar, watching you guys show it, looks like about an hour and 45 minutes. So, folks, I'm talking about that band, which is just offshore, all that yellow, that dark green there. That's the one that's going to rotate in with the hurricane force gusts. Now, new information here. The bridge to the beach is closed. 3 Mile Bridge is closed. A lot of the bridge is closing down right now. You need to be at a shelter within the next hour. All right? Because like I said with Stephanie's question and Bill, it is going to really deteriorate rapidly. You'll be very, very shocked. And you really can't prepare for it, Steph. That's the whole key, because it comes up so fast. It's more like you are reacting as opposed to preparing at that point. That's for sure. Let's show you some pictures here of this is WERE TV's local news here. This is their Skycam here. This is a mile from me, okay, to my south as the crow flies. We're looking out past the big Pensacola beach ball out toward the pier. You can see the huge waves coming ashore here. No question they will just get bigger. And we, of course, haven't even seen the surge with this thing yet. That'll come in very, very fast, a rise of about 10 to 15 feet, we anticipate, as we go on through the afternoon hours. So dangerous conditions. That is our forecast this afternoon. You will lose power. You will see structural damage. Remember, this coming in during the daylight, unlike Ivan, we will see structural damage here and obviously damage, much damage to those beaches coming up before the sun sets tonight. So, guys, it's going to be a wild ride. Basically, what we've got in a nutshell is Charlie making landfall very close to where Ivan did just 10 months ago. Bill and Steph, back to you.
All right, Jim, we'll check back in with you a little bit later. Now we want to head a little bit off to your east.
And Mike Bettis is over there in Destin, Florida. Mike, I know that the airport serving the area is Fort Walton Beach. They just had a wind gust of 56 miles per hour. Have you witnessed any damage in the area?
We've actually seen a little bit. You know, some trash cans have been blown over. We've had a little bit of beach debris. And I'm going to pan over here and show you that we have this beautiful mansion its beat front here. And can you see the downspouts there? The bolts that hold them into the side of the home there have now ripped out, and so those downspouts in bad shape. They'll be coming down here probably within the next couple of minutes, maybe even. So a little bit of minor damage for us right now. Certainly as Dennis gets closer and closer, we're going to see. Conditions have been very poor this morning, and they're getting rapidly worse. Just a little bit ago, we caught up with the Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office, and we asked them what's their advice for people that are still here.
The evacuation started Friday with a voluntary evacuation, went to mandatory yesterday morning at 6 a.m. for areas south of U.S. Highway 98 and all flood-prone areas in the southern end of the county.
All right, so let's talk about what's happening right here on the beach. Now, folks, I don't want you to think we've got some waves that are crashing out there. We have seen no storm surge whatsoever. We haven't seen any water rise since the time we arrived about 3 hours ago because we've generally got a northeast wind, so that's good news. And as soon as we're threatened by the waves and the flooding here, we'll certainly move to some higher, safer ground a little bit farther inland, Stephanie and Bill. So we're here to show people the elements, but at this point, what you really need to be doing is getting to the shelters as quickly as possible.
Okay, Mike, hunker down if you have to. We're going to try to keep that shot up as long as we can.
That's right, and don't forget that this hurricane will not only affect where it makes landfall, it's going to spread far east, west, and north of the system. We're back after your local on the 8.